Hello everyone, welcome to PSIR Theory Plus channel. I hope that you are doing well. As you all know that we have been discussing and analyzing PSIR 2025 mains question and analysis, and I'm also giving you model answers. So we have started our discussion. All of these are there in the separate playlist on the YouTube channel. You can watch one by one for the beginners and also for those people who have written, so that they can evaluate yourself with the help of what I have also presented here. So if your answer is close to mine, then you are better placed. So the first section of our PSIR paper 1 and paper 2 also, you have to do compulsory questions, means all of them are compulsory. You don't have any internal choice. 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. All four we have completed in our previous classes. Today we will be discussing about the only question which is left in compulsory question, that is explain briefly about elitist theory of democracy, and instead of elitist they have written what elite. Okay, we can also call it elite, whatever it is, as you feel comfortable. Communication is important. Okay, so basically in the political theory or in the books we call it as elitist theory. Okay, so the first four questions are these that we have already discussed. Today we will be talking about the explain the elite theory of democracy. So as a normal UPSC aspirant, which is who is having a PSIR optional, so you have got the question like elite theory of democracy. So this is a very basic question. Everyone will study about it. No one generally leaves it. As a normal student, you have to study it. Elite theory of democracy. Now, whenever we talk about democracy, whenever we talk about elite, okay, I'm talking about the approach to the answer. So first of all, you are talking about, you have to give, in the introduction, you have to give what it is. What it is. What do you mean by elitist theory of democracy or elite theory of democracy? You have to talk about it, what it is. After that, you have to quote some important political thinkers, okay, who have emphasized and in the same way have criticized this elitist theory. So you have to just quote them, who propounded it. After doing that, your job will be done. Then you have to go to the body of answer. Okay, here you have to relate this particular theory with regard to Indian context, and you have to talk about it. Okay, as because we are talking about democracy, you should not be, whenever in the political science, you should not be restricted only to what polity. So when we are talking democracy, we will also talk about economy, we will also talk about society, we will also talk about, okay, private people, etc., so and so forth. So when we are in a democracy, all of these areas have to be touched, and you have to give some examples how in any of these areas this elitist theory is dominant. And after giving some examples, then you have to go for pros of elitist theory. Then you have to write the cons of elitist theory. Then you have to also talk about whether this theory, as because we have discussed with regard to Indian context, have we do this particular theory also exist in other developed world or not. So you have to also talk about developed nations which are also having this particular elite influence on their democracy, right? So you have to take the international integration also you have to do in your answer, then you have to conclude it. This is how you have to approach this particular question. After the analysis is done, you will be able to know what you can able to write any of the questions very easily. Okay, democracy is an ideal, power of people, equality, participation. If you get any kind of question like this, then it means it is very much familiar to elitist theory, so you can invoke it and you can present in your answer. Reality. Elite dominance means group of people dominance, but counter elites means those who are not so well off, so they are called as counter elites. So we are talking about labor, working class, etc., so and so forth, counter elites. And social movements keep democracy alive, means a balance between elite and non-elite is actually leaving the democracy to be flourishing. That is, Indian democracy has evolved as a hybrid elite rule but mass movements. So this is one such example that you can quote. Mandal agitation. Okay, now fine. Anna continuously check elite dominance. How elite dominance will be continuously checked? Okay, here you have like Mandal agitation, Anna Hazare and farmers protest. They have checked what elite dominance because they want to corporatize. In case of farmers, corporatization of agriculture was envisaged, whereas Anna Hazare, the big shot should also be made equal to the law, and any corrupt fellows have to be removed. So Lokpal Lokayukta means accountability of the politicians has been fixed with the help of what? Anna Hazare, right or wrong? Then you should also be writing here opposition also matters in a democracy, which also checks the elite dominance. That is what Rahul Gandhi always does. He always talk about Adani, Ambani. So he is checking the elite dominance, right? So if any of these question comes in the examination, so our answer will be very well suitable here. Fine, let us start our discussion. Okay. So this theory, as I have told you that you have to write what it is and you have to quote some important political thinkers. So this theory was proposed by Wilfredo Pareto, Mosca, Robert Michels and Schumpeter. Most of the power, according to them, prestige and wealth are in the hands of only few respected ruling classes, irrespective of any form of government, whether it's Congress, BJP, whatsoever. These are the peoples who are running the show in their own fields. Means basically group of people running the own show in their respective fields. The ruled means we follow the elite, we follow them as they do not have the leadership qualities. We just follow them even though they don't have the leadership qualities. This theory poses a very serious question to democracy and suggests that in practice, democracy is not achievable as the elites would control the power, wealth, and hence decision making. So in this theory, it is properly said that the ruled will follow the elite. We follow Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, okay, we follow Adani, Ambani, the way they live, etc., so and so forth. So they don't have the leadership qualities. So that will become a very serious question to the democracy. And it suggests that in practice, democracy is not achievable because elites would control the power and wealth and hence the decision making. So at the end, what the elite want, that will come into what? Decision making. That is how democracy will not be achievable. Democracy is nothing but not just elite should influence the decision making, but also the masses that we, labor class, working class, everyone, SC, ST, minorities, all classes should influence the decision making. But in practice, it is very difficult to get what democracy. Why? Because elite dominance will control both power and wealth. Hence, it is not at all possible to achieve democracy in this particular Ellis's theory of democracy, like that he said. Okay, this is the core concept of Ellis's theory. I hope this is clear to you. Let us go ahead. Democracy. Okay, that is over. Michel says Iron Law of Oligarchy means group of you. Every organization tend towards oligarchy regardless of democratic ideals. So if you talk about now the biggest change with regard to our edutech IS examination, once upon a time we have thriving lot more are there. Now you see the Unacademy is acquiring some other. Adda has been acquired. Study IQ has acquired Adda. Okay, Byju's is going off. So you can find here ultimately this says that out of 100 big shots, okay, which started a trend, at the end it will be left with only 10 people. The incomplete coaching will be, okay, will become a syndicate of among the 10 corporates only, 10 institute CEOs only, because small ones are already mingled or consumed by them. So at the end, it says that every organization will tend to go towards what? Oligarchy only, irrespective of democratic ideals. Mosca says that society is divided into rulers and ruled. That is what it commonly happen in our country. Those people who are rich will always come to power. We are always vote giving people, nothing more than we can do. Democracy in practice is dominated by elites rather than by the people in Ellis's theory, which is a very common scenario in our country too. Now, let us see the India's relevance with regard to Ellis's theory with regard to politics. Dynasty politics are there. Gandhi's in INC, Yadavas in UP, Abdullah's in JK. They control the power, political power. Electoral dominance of political elites who capture resources, network and decision making. Okay, means here Adani, Ambani, whoever are there, they are having a lot of financial resources, they have good networks and they influence the decision making. Role of bureaucrat elites are also there in shaping policy irrespective of elected government. Okay, so here only handful of bureaucrats. Like if we talk about Telangana, they are group 1 officers are 2,500, group 2 officers are 2,000. So almost like 2,500 people are running the show in Telangana for 3 crore 50 lakhs population. So these are the group of elites which actually controls the policy making, means what to be given to us, what infrastructure to be built for us, what kind of which facilities need to be categorized into needs. So they are actually controlling us, means they are in a way are rulers, and we are in a way are ruled irrespective of, means what they want that will only come into existence. That is what it says. If you talk about economy post 1991 liberalization, rise of corporate elites, Ambani's, Adani's, Infosys founders, CCS, etc., so on and so forth. Then in that also crony capitalism is there, political elites and business elites. Nexus is there that we always see from the mouth of Rahul Gandhi that Modi ji has actually supported Ambani, Adani, etc., so on and so forth. That kind of thing. Farmers protest, argued laws favored corporate elites over small farmers. So here also law has come which in a way were promoting corporatization of agriculture. Farmer protested, all the three laws were taken back. So in economy also there is a political nexus is there, the big shots of the corporate, the big shots of political, both of them coming together, crony capitalism, and wanted to destroy the lower rung, wanted to concentrate the power. So in polity we have seen the Elysis theory is there. In economy, we have seen the Elysis series happily working. In culture and media, Bollywood media controlled by few production houses and families. We know that Kapoor Khans, etc., so on and so forth. News agenda often shaped by media elites, limiting plural voice. If I talk about, okay, tell me some important anchor names. So you'll say that Anjana Om Kashyap is there, Sudhir Chaudhary is there, Amish Devgan is there, Smriti Prakash is there, Arnab Goswami is there. So you can take 10 people name. Apart from 10 people, do you watch anybody else? No, no, no. Telugu, maybe regional, you are having the similar ones. So obviously in region also you might be watching only 2 3. Getting my point here? So even the media is controlled by that particular elites, and we are heard what they wanted to say to us, not what is actually happening. History, if you see colonial India, British ruling, British was the elite there. Post independence Congress, elite dominance were there. Dalit and OBC movements act as counter elites. Means this dominance and Brahmins, etc., upper caste dominance was actually countered by Dalit and OBC movements with the help of Ambedkar, Mandal Commission, BSP, SP. Parties are found on the bedrock of what? Opposing the upper caste dominance in the society. Okay, and challenging the traditional dominance. So you have to now, you have made what you have done, you have wrote the what is the meaning of Elysis theory, then you have written the political thinker, so you scored 2 marks there. You have shown India's relevance, that will come to around 4 marks you have got. Now other 4 marks will be on the basis of what? Pros and cons. How is this Elysis theory is good for a country? Basically stability and continuity. Whatever the Elysis theory, whatever the examples that we have taken with regard to India's relevance, we have seen that our political stability is far more better than other democracies, because we don't have only one scenario in the fifth 5-year plan where the government was extended for one more period or decreased to 1 year. So apart from that, there is no problem with regard to what our political stability 5-year term every party completes in our country. Okay, there is no coup, no mutiny, nothing will happen. Okay. Political elites maintain institutional order. With the help of agencies, they make sure that the country is in order. Meritocratic elite, which is nothing but through merit we have come into the elite. Okay, bureaucracy, judiciary, technocrats ensure rational governance. We always talk about good. We always talk about dialogue. We always talk about midway. You guys are, you don't take sides of anyone. That is how we are able to ensure what? You are being elite, but you still find how to give justice. So that rational principle that governs us, no, that is very beautiful of us. Mobilization of masses. Charismatic leaders like Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Modi act as elites who mobilize and integrates diverse population. So in order to have communal harmony, in order to have community harmony, social harmony, all of these masses, okay, are seen as elites. All of these political leaders are considered as mass mobilizers because they can break and make the society. Counter elites enable social justice. Because of the counter elites only, Dalit leaders like Ambedkar, Kansiram, Mayawati challenge domination of upper class and try to maintain the balance between what? Upper and the lower class elites. Then cons, if you see negative effects, obviously at the end it becomes oligarchy, handful of few people in the country who run the show for the complete population. Oligarchic capture of democracy, dynasty politics, money power, it limits genuine democratic participation. As a normal student, do you really love to serve the country in a form of political way? You will say yes. Many of you will say that 90% that okay, I want to become MLA MP, but that chance you will not get because elite is dominating there. And examples, over 80% MPs are crorepati's. What else you want? Crony capitalism, concentration of wealth in a few houses. We have seen Forbes list shows India's wealthiest 1% controls 40% of national wealth, nothing but resources, networks, etc. so and so forth. Cultural dominance, media censorship, which festival should be showed, which festival should not be showed, which goods of the festival should be showed, which goods of the combat of the community should be showed. All culture, the media will either censure, will not show, or will show. Bollywood nepotism, suppression of regional voices, exclusion of marginalized group despite reservation, women political participation very low. So ultimately it become what? Man allied, means gender allied is man here. So men here. So I hope that only 15% of the women are what in MP, so they require reservation in a larger way. So now you have understood that elite LSS theory is not because only of writing theory. You have to give a very relevant to our country and also give you pros and cons. That's how your answer will be ending. So you can, I have explained you in a way that that you have to understand as a lecture, but in the examination you can decrease this and you can use minimum words and you can just present your answer very comprehensively. So do join my classes. All the important areas of my mentorship and test series and classes program of PSIR is listed here. Do be a part of it. I will guarantee you that you will be better off in regard to your competitors and you will do good. I hope this is clear to you. Take care.